Despite President Obama's pledge of openness and transparency in the overhaul of the nation's healthcare system, the real work right now, the horse trading and bargaining, the real legislating is happening behind closed doors, as it always does. The 5 bills debated in open committee meetings are unrecognizable now, cannibalized, added to, and chopped up by the party's leaders in the consolidated versions that the House and Senate are expected to begin debating within the next week or so. And so, in our fourth story tonight, the question: where do we stand and what are the prospects for moving forward? Democrats are hardly united about where to go now. As we just told you, Senator Olbermann, who, remember, is technically an independent, remains committed to denying Democrats a straight up or down vote on a public option version of health care reform. At least 4 other Democrats in the Senate refuse to say whether they will join him. Joining us tonight is Markos Dailykos, creator of Dailykos.com and author of Taking on the System: Rules for Radical Change in a Digital Era. Thanks for joining us tonight, Markos.
A pleasure. Thank you very much.
Markos, how surprised are you at the lack of transparency when we get down to crunch time? They have closed the doors. They're writing the bills in the back room. This is not what the president promised when he was running for office last year, but he didn't exactly have control of how they do things in the House and Senate now, did he?
No, you can't put this on Obama. And really, if you're going to have tough negotiations over what's going to go in this bill, including some fairly controversial components, you're going to have to really do this behind closed doors. It doesn't make sense to have cameras in your face when you're trying to do some horse trading to get the vote. So I don't expect transparency at this point of the game. I do like the fact that the House Democrats are giving 72 hours to look at the bill. There's going to be time for amendments, and that's all going to be open and transparent. And that, I think, is what's important in this process. Not exactly what's happening behind closed doors at this moment.
Now, we have yet to see either bill. We just got a very strong indication from Congressman Clyburn, for example, that they will not have the Baucus tax in the Pelosi bill. What else do you expect to be or not be in the Pelosi bill tomorrow, and what would be a deal breaker for you?
Well, the deal breaker would be the lack of a robust public option, and I think there's a strong group of committed progressives in the House that have basically made that point, and I think they are the heroes in this fight. If it wasn't for them, we would not have a public option on the agenda at this point. So their strength and unity on this issue has been critical, so I think moving forward that's key. Now, do they have the votes for the most robust public option? Congressman Clyburn just said that he does. I've heard reports that maybe they don't. I'd love to see a list of which Democrats are holding out, because I'd be happy to help with the whip efforts to get those people aboard.
Now, in the strangest development of the week, if not the month, if not the year, we have Senator Jon Kyl, Republican who's in charge of coordinating his party's cohesiveness on message and on votes in the Senate, said today that he supports the opt-in version of the public option, in which states could just proactively say, yes, we want to be part of this. What is Kyl up to here? This cannot be a simple volunteering of, here's the public option I would like. There's some kind of trap here. I haven't figured it out.
Well, his office is already walking this back, saying that he was taken completely out of context when he made those comments. Of course, unfortunately for Kyl, there was a recording of that interview, and some other reporters have listened to it, and they've said that it was accurate. What the Hill reported was actually accurate. Now, what's he doing? I don't know. Maybe he was being momentarily honest. I think there's a lot of Republicans in the Senate and in the House that would be happy to vote for effective health care reform, because they know America needs it and people need it. But once the caucus discipline comes down and they get swatted in the face, and you get these hard-right activists that are demanding nothing but the status quo, then they come back in line. And I think that's maybe what happened here with Kyl, that maybe he was honest for a second and then reality hit him. He's a Republican. He's not allowed to have his own opinions. He's not allowed to try to make this a better country.
Now, after the public option battle is over in the Senate, it will either be stripped out of the bill by amendment or it won't. The bill will continue to progress on the Senate floor. What is the next battle line for liberals?
I mean, it's a complicated bill. There's a lot of moving parts. I think a key one, though, moving forward to the 2010 elections, is moving up the date of execution. I mean, they're talking about having this begin in 2013, which is pretty ridiculous from an electoral standpoint, not to mention from a moral and policy standpoint. I mean, there's a problem in the country. The healthcare system needs to be fixed, so you want to fix it as soon as possible. Move it up to 2010. There's no need to wait till 2013. People are hurting, and we need to get reelected in 2010. So run on this and show people the benefits of the public option and of healthcare reform.
Markos Dailykos of the Daily Kos, thanks for joining us tonight.
A pleasure, anytime.